Hey guys, what's up? How ya doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean, which will be on episodes 30 to 32. Now, these three episodes was actually pretty shocking to me. I mean, I was like, holy crap, man. Like, my jaw just dropped to see what just happened, but after analyzing a couple things, it's even more shocking. So, if anything else, let's just get them started. They're all pretty much the same title, just in freaking like many different parts, you know? So if anything else, let's go. Let's start with number 30. We have to it that Weather Report's powers is starting to run amok. As for the other guy who's the Netherworld user, throughout episode 30, he's been trying to look for, for Jotaro's disc, which is held by Emporio, you know? Of course, Jolene and Hermes do have some trouble with, like, Weather Report's, like, crazy, out of control weather report abilities because it's going haywire and there's snails and so forth and rainbows. If you touch them or if you even touch the snails, you turn yourself into a snail or something like that. It was really disturbing yet very freaking gruesome, you know, which I go like, holy crud, what the hell, you know? And like I said and repeating myself again, Netherworld has been looking for Emporio, who has Jotaro's disc. He does run into some trouble but finds Emporio in the end. And later on, we have to it that that Jolene and Hermes managed to work together to take out or catch up to the Netherworld user, which I don't care much about because he's not really that important to me. And they managed to corner him after having a lot of trouble with the snails because, you know, you touch them, you turn into one, you know, and it's very gruesome, etc. What the hell? But they run into another problem which involves like these bugs that eat snails or suck these things out of them. I don't know, but one thing's for certain is that it was very goddamn disturbing. I don't know, but we have to it that Anastasia or Anasui ends up talking to Weather Report wondering what the hell are you trying to do right now, huh? Are you out of your mind or something? Stop this madness right now kind of thing. So, yeah. But Anastasia ends up talking to Weather Report telling him that he's looking for Pucci because he has a score to settle with him, you know? That kind of thing. So we get to know that we get to know the backstory of Pucci and freaking and Weather Report, and it's already been said and repeated again that they are biological brothers, and this is where episode number 31 comes in. Yes, we're gonna go into 31. So overall, in episode number 30 of Weather Report, you know, that kind of thing, we get to know that that Weather Report's abilities runs amok, you know, going out of control kind of thing, and of course, like Jolene and Hermes ends up managing to stop what's the guy's name, Netherworld's stand user and so forth after having a lot of trouble here and there. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff. But here's another thing we get to know down the line about Pucci and Weather Report. We get to know that a mother who apparently had a baby but apparently had his life expired, sadly. We get to know this mother who apparently is in a very dazed up possible insanity mind. I don't know what's the word. I don't know. It's really hard for me to explain it, but I'll try to put it without a lot of confusion. We get to know the backstory of Pucci and Weather Report's backstory. It starts off with a story about a mother who she just had a baby. However, sadly, that baby died the moment it was born, which is sad and devastating. And throughout her days of grief or maybe insanity for losing her baby, she actually switched out a baby that was next to a twin, you know? So she took one of the twins, which is actually Pucci's brother, and put the the deceased baby over there. And we get to know about Pucci's backstory of how his mother told him that that he actually used to have a twin brother. However, he died the moment he was born, and this is when Pucci became a seminary, or a guy who wants to become a priest whatsoever, that kind of thing. You get the idea. Then we continue the backstory of how Pucci somehow met Dio in the church, and when Pucci had a very messed up foot, Dio and Pucci does have a little small talk with each other, and Dio decides to give him one of the freaking the stand arrows that looks like a beetle, which is very similar to the one we saw in part 5 of JoJo. If you guys remember that arrow stand, it had a beetle on it, that kind of thing. And we get to know that Dio gave him this thing, tell him to hold on to it, And we get to know a very sad part of the story of Pucci's backstory, that the mother, the one that is confessing her sin to Pucci, ends up telling Pucci about how she swapped her dead baby and took another baby, and that she feels remorse and that she's struck with an illness whatsoever. This right here actually Pucci realizes that this mother was the one that freaking took his twin brother away from him when he was born, or when he was just a little baby that was on the table, that kind of thing. And we get to know a little bit more down the line of how Weather Report, which his real name is West Aquamarine, West Aquamarine. By that time, that's when Pucci's sister, his biological sister, ends up having to fall in love with her brother, which she does not know at all. When Pucci found out from his sister, and later on he found out who she was really dating, he goes me, you gotta be kidding me. I really got to end this right here, right now. And we have to it, Pucci on the other hand knows that he cannot do the breakup, or he can't really do anything about it, because it will only cause more chaos or confusion. I don't know. But all I know is Pucci did not try to involve this himself. He decides to have someone else do the job for him. He therefore hires some kind of shady guy to break the two of them up, And it did not go very well into plan. And it gets much ugly here on out, because the guy, he was shady. There's no denying that. He was dirty and shady. He digged up information about West Aquamarine, or should I say Weather Report, in other words, about his past and story, And this gets much worse as he beats up the guy and then tries to stop the girl from hooking up with him, because that's what Pucci wanted. He told the guy, please get these two to break up no matter what. Don't ask questions, don't do anything stupid, kind of thing, And however, it did not go the way as planned, because that guy was dirty, evil, and then he ends up beat up Weather Report, and freaking later on had him hanged on a tree. We have to it that that Weather Report's sister, which is, what's her name again? Perla. She ends up realizing that since Weather Report is dead and she didn't really dig into things carefully, we had to it Perla ends up committing suicide, or should I say taking her own life, by jumping into the lake and drowning herself, since she lost the love of her life, which she does not know that was her own blood brother that she fell in love with, It was very disturbing and very shocking to me. I was like, what the hell? I kind of had to rethink about what just happened here and there, and Pucci could only wail in grief for losing his sister, and he remembers the words of what Dio told him, and he actually still has that stand arrow within him, and ends up being stabbed by that stand arrow, and ends up having a power of his own. I don't know. That's when Pale Snake was summoned within him, And we have to it that Pucci decides to take the memories of his sister and goes to try to go find Dio. However, since Pucci got struck by that stand arrow with the beetle that was given to him by Dio, he gained the ability. However, West Aquamarine, which is Weather Report stand user, ends up having to like gain the power too and goes run amok, he ends up going into chaos and freaking wails and grief and anger and that he really wanted to go with the love of his life, which is Perla, which he does not know that was his blood younger sister whatsoever. You get the idea, right? I mean, no matter what he does, no matter what he did, he cannot really take his own life away, which is really sad. And okay, kind of screwed up. Okay, it's sad. Cross that out. Screwed up. But at the same time, his abilities of the weather that he does is out of control. Pucci, realizing that his brother is running amok with these snails, decides to confront him. And we have they exchange a couple words, and that weather report calls him a freaking filthy maggot for ruining everything, but Pucci tells him, no, you never understood anything. I did it for your own good. He never explained explicitly that he tried to stop. He's pretty much saying, I stopped you to fall in love with your blood sister. But he never said that explicitly, and they end up clashing. Pucci, therefore, was the one that therefore took his memories away and locked him up in jail. And we have we go back to present time where where Anasui and Weather Report talk with each other. And Weather Report says, hey, Anastasia or Anasui, I need you to listen to me. After I take care of my business with Pucci, I need you to be the one to kill me. And he's like, what the hell are you talking about? And the episode ends off with Jolene, Hermes, and Emporio driving the car trying to find Weather Report and stop his madness because of what's happening right now, So that is episode 31. Overall, in this episode of number 31, we get to know the backstory of Pucci and his biological blood brother, which is West Aquamarine or Weather Report. Whatever you think is more fitting for you, okay? So Pucci's twin brother, or should I say brother, which is Weather Report or West Aquamarine, he was taken away by a mother who was in grief and replaced him with a dead baby, And Pucci, that's when he became a seminary, meets up with Dio, and then he after Perla was rescued a little bit by West Aquamarine, which she does not know that's her blood brother. She ends up telling this to Pucci, and Pucci, after digging in some information and connecting the dots of the mother talking about taking a live baby and place it with her dead one, that's when Pucci, when he followed Perla, who she's hooking up with or dating, is actually their blood brother, which is really sad, devastating, and cruel because the mother was pretty maybe at fault for that, but it could also be Pucci's fault at the same time because he did it in a way that he should not have done it anyway. But I don't know, it's really, really sad and complicated, because when the narrator says, we want to see what's your opinion, who's really at fault here, 100%, and I don't know, man. I could really blame the mother for doing that kind of stuff, but I don't know how. Sometimes human minds work in many, many ways and so forth, and it becomes very sad and disturbing because human beings are chaotic creatures. That much I can really, really freaking say. But some of them do feel remorse, so that much I can say as well. But you get the idea. So, kind of annoyed, but whatever, So, that's pretty much episode 31. Without a lot of detail, all I know is I could tell you that 90% of the episode 31 involves the backstory of, Pucci and West Aquamarine, So, yeah. Now, let's get on to episode 32. Now, this is where it becomes very hectic from here on out because this is where, Pucci and Anastasia take on West Aquamarine and, or should I say, Weather Report and Diver Down or Anastasia takes on Pucci. They end up finding his location a bit, but freaking Pucci hid underneath a lot of snails and knows how West Aquamarine's powers work, And he ends up taking the leg of Weather Report himself and so forth. And a devastating fight happens between between Weather Report and Diver Down or Anastasia, you know? Pucci had a lot of tricks and abilities up his sleeve somehow in order to actually find a way to take on Anastasia and Weather Report, you know? And all I can really say is that the fight between these three is almost freaking very similar, man. All I know is the creator, when he comes to making fights, it's always so close and very coming in clutch kind of fights kind of thing, you know? It's he always does that with a lot of his series, and I like it that way. But all I can really tell you without a lot of detail, which you should watch the episode yourself, by the way, is that Anastasia and Weather Report actually struggle greatly to take down Pucci, you know? Eventually, we have to it that Pucci will later on be at the mercy of Weather Report's grasp, and he was about to deliver a killing blow. Pucci, in fear, decides to count the prime numbers, you know, 1, 3, 5, 7, 11, you know, that kind of thing. But before Weather Report could deliver the final killing blow, a car comes out of nowhere, which apparently Jolene Hermes have the freaking, what's the guy's name? Netherworld stand user to drive the car, and they actually end up crashing into something, which apparently, sadly, it would later on end up being freaking Weather Report. As for Pucci himself, he managed to escape using one of his abilities of the stand that he has within him, and possibly of the green baby's powers too, or green baby stand powers too. Later on, you know, the guy Netherworld stand user, he's pretty much dead, and they end up finding Weather Report's body, and apparently, sadly, he is dead because they ran him over, which apparently is true. They ran him over, I guess. There's no way to deny it because of what they did. And they're going back to normal, which apparently shows that Weather Report, or West Aquamarine, is really dead. Emporio ends up fighting him. Jolene wants to come back and revive him and save him, but Hermes can you wake the hell up? He's dead. He's really freaking dead. Anastasia confirms this and ends up taking a small speech or talk with Jolene about sacrificing and so forth, and how Weather Report is actually saved, or he finally gets to be free, you know? Because he's been in misery for so long and his negative emotions for so long that he's finally free. However, there was one last gift that was left behind by Weather Report, and that's his stand ability, you know, which apparently is now in possession with Jolene now, which he ends up taking. We have to it that before Pucci escaped or do something, you know, we have to it Pale Snake took the advantage of his special ability, and he used that moment to seal his ability into a disc. So pretty much Pale Snake pretty much sealed Weather Report's ability in the disc whatsoever, and therefore Weather Report decides to entrust this power to Jolene. We have to it that Jolene takes the disc, etc. Takes the disc and really wants Weather Report come back, you know, because she has a lot of things to say to him. Emporio, Anastasia, and Hermes could only grieve for the passing of their friend who helped them out, and that Jolene just wanted to talk to Weather Report one more time at least, just once more. I just want to talk to you in the soft breeze, you know. And we get to see that episode 32 ends off with the wind of golden leaves flying into the air, and then the episode ends off right there, you know? So yeah, pretty sad and devastating, but it is what it is, you know? Gosh dang, wow. So yeah, those are pretty much the 3 episodes of what is called Heavy Forecast, you know, and so forth. Episode 1 of Heavy Forecast, or episode 30, you know, starts off with the out of control Weather Report acting chaotic and negative emotions of West Aquamarine, And then episode 31, the backstory of like Pucci and West Aquamarine or Weather Report, you know? And then number 32, which is the fight between Anastasia and West Aquamarine or Weather Report against Pucci, which they were very close to killing him. However, Jolene and her crew ends up crashing into him, killing him, you know, etc. But not before Pucci ends up using his ability to seal away Weather Report's ability into a disc, which is later on entrusted to Jolene, and the passing of Weather Report, who's finally at peace, you know, because, dang, man. Dang. So, yeah, first Foo Fighters or FF, and now Weather Report. They really need to stop Pucci now. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to, like, next episode, but I'm afraid that won't come until like possibly Thursday, and I'm hoping to like finish all the JoJo hopefully this week. Oh man, so until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out. Bye bye. Toot toot.